to my channel. Thank you for tuning in this week. Today I am going to be talking about moving across the country with a newborn. And do I recommend it? Hell yes, I do recommend it. It is one of the best things I have ever done in my whole entire life. It was an adventure in itself. So let's go right into it. So basically, my husband and I, even before we met, I actually wanted to move out of California. I just cannot stand Southern California anymore. Where we were living was maybe in 45 minutes away from LA. We were in the city. I hated having to travel 4 hours to go camping, to go fishing, and it was just a struggle. There's not a lot of, outdoor activities. I mean, there are some, don't hate me for that, but there wasn't enough. There wasn't things that I liked. I liked being in the mountains. I liked being near lakes, and busy rivers. I didn't like having LA water in my river, where there's, dirt and sewage, and just nasty pollution and stuff like that. So I was already in the mindset of moving away. But I ended up meeting Jason, and Jason was like, you know what, I would love to move too. So we had that in common. It was just, a factor of money and where we wanted to move and jobs and things like that, because it is hard. It is hard to just pick up and leave everything behind, your family, your belongings, because sometimes you can't take everything. And what's next? Are you gonna have a job lined up? Money, because you need money to travel. Obviously, it sucks nowadays how expensive it is to travel. But once we did it, it was great. We just had to go for it. We ended up getting engaged and ended up getting pregnant, like I said in my past videos. And life happens. And we were like, well, we're gonna have to put moving on hold, because with having to plan a wedding, having to plan a baby, there was just so much going on. And we just had no idea where we even wanted to move. But we knew that we didn't want to raise our child in Southern California. We knew we wanted to get out of the city. We wanted to live somewhere less expensive, because, we didn't want to be stuck, having to live paycheck to paycheck with a child. And some people do, actually a lot of people do, and it's hard, and it's so extremely hard and stressful. And I can't imagine, I had to live like that, for a long time, just paycheck to paycheck, where you have literally $7 in your bank account till your next check. And you were literally putting in like $5 on gas and maybe $2 on food. Like, I've lived that life. But I didn't want to live like that anymore. I wanted to move away somewhere where I can afford. I didn't want to live with my dad anymore. I wanted my own place and my own little family unit. So once we had Jameson, after we had gotten married, Jason and I, we didn't have the money to go on this huge honeymoon, nor did we have the time, because we had a newborn. So we decided we'll go on a mini moon. So we decided to look at somewhere that we wanted to move. So we had already been to Texas, we had been to Oklahoma, and those were two of the places. I had been to Tennessee. That was kind of going through my mind. That was actually where I wanted to move before I had met Jason. But Tennessee, like where I was looking near Nashville, was a little more expensive for me. But I had mentioned Alabama, and I have family in Alabama, so we wouldn't technically be 100% alone. And Jason's a really big fisherman. He loves to fish. That's his life. And he loves to bass fish. And so he said, you know what, Lake Guntersville is one of the top lakes for fishing in the nation. Let's go there. Let's just check it out. Like, he's always wanted a bit to go there. And I just love to adventure. So I was like, why not? So we decided to go out to Guntersville and just check it out. You guys, we ended up renting a house the second day we were there. We absolutely loved Guntersville. Beautiful place, we're up on a mountain. I mean, it's not really a mountain. I guess it's just a really big hill, but it seems like a mountain for Alabama, and it was just beautiful. The lake, as soon as we went over the bridge to see the lake, it was just gorgeous, you guys. You have no idea. It looks like an ocean. Like, this lake is huge. And there's just so much to do, so much more outdoor activities. It's a lot cheaper than California. We're renting a house, a 3-bedroom house that was the same price as a really crappy 2-bedroom apartment in Long Beach. It was just a really bad area, but now we have like 3 acres, 3 bedrooms, you know, a really big house for the same price. Like, no, it's cheaper, because I think we were paying like $1,400 or $1,500 out in California, and here we're paying $1,200. So it was a little bit of, well, I mean, it was a huge change. So we absolutely loved it out here, and we knew this is what we were gonna do. We just went for it, guys. And I feel like a lot of people are stuck in that rut. Like, how are we gonna move? What are we gonna do? You have to just do it. Because, you know, you might never ever do it. If we didn't get the place here, we probably would still be in California. We just had to do it like on a whim, and it was the best split decision that we had ever made in our entire lives. I'm so happy that we did it. Because like I said, we would probably still be in California, still working maybe 2 jobs each just to pay for, you know, our family, to provide. And now, you know, we have Jason, we're off 1 income, and I can stay home with Jameson. I can, you know, be that mother that I really wanted to be for my son. And we can be outdoors doing it, which I'm super, super stoked about. So a lot of people gave me crap for moving away. So once we got back, we had to tell our families, and we told them, you know what, we got a place, we're leaving. Sorry, guys, peace out. But it sucked, you know, family took it hard. But you know what? We had to do what's best for us. And in the end, you just can't make everyone happy, you know? And I'm that person who always tries to make everyone around me happy. Like, I just give in to that pressure, and I'm just like, okay, here you go. I'll do this for you. Yes, I'm here for you. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta do what's best for you. What's best for my husband and what's best for my kid. And this was the best decision. So after we told everyone, the whole moving process happened. We immediately, you know, said peace to our rental agreement. We were able to get out of that by there was a lot of things that were happening. We were having drive-bys happen. The place was like infested with cockroaches. Like, it was just a bad deal. And so we were actually able to break the lease. So thank God for that. So we were able to just move out as soon as we could. We ended up getting everything packed up. I think we stayed 1 night. I know Jason stayed 1 night at my dad's, so that we can get everything into the moving van. We had the best of friends help us get everything packed up, because, you know, dealing with a newborn plus packing everything up was a really big struggle, because, you know, I'm constantly watching Jameson, but like I said, we had the best family, the best friends to help us. And Jason was on his way with our good friend Duncan, and they were able to travel to Alabama. Jameson and I stayed back, I think, a couple days so that we can kind of say goodbye to family a little longer, and we were actually going to fly out. So Jason was able to take the truck and drive across the country to Alabama. I am super jealous. One day I do want to do that drive, maybe with the kids later on, because that would be such a fun road trip. Just, you know, going through all those little southern to western states. Like I said, I'm so jealous that he got to do that. But it's not like they got to really stop, because he was on a time limit. So he got here and started unpacking before I got here. So Jameson and I took American Airlines, which I just want to say, I mean, I've heard some really bad things. I've had mixed experiences with American Airlines, but traveling with a newborn was honestly, I don't want to say it was hard. I mean, I was in panic mode. I was in anxiety mode. I was super scared of the worst things that could happen, but it didn't. For me, at least, it did not happen. And I was really, really surprised. And everybody on the airlines was super accommodating. And even just random people. Thank God there are some good people out there still in this world. Because if I had to pick up a bag, I think I took like a carry-on and a backpack, and I had my newborn strapped to my chest. And there was some really nice people offering to take my bags for me and to help me. And that was just so refreshing to have those people, help out. It was so nice. And the airlines are super accommodating. And I think, honestly, I think it's just anybody who sees a mother struggling by herself. I was alone for this flight with a 3-month-old. So I was able to get people to help me. I think people just was really like, oh my gosh, like I've been there, or they haven't been there, but they couldn't imagine, being in my position. So it was really, really nice to have people help out. We got really lucky on our first flight. Nobody sat next to me like in the middle. So that was really nice. Honestly, I think it was the big guy in the sky helping me out that day, because we had nobody on that first flight and nobody on the second flight. So going on to the flight, going up, taking off on your flight, departing, or whatever you want to call it. I did have to breastfeed, because I heard about infants and their ears. So I did do that. But after that, it was smooth sailing, because with a 3-month-old, all he did was sleep the whole time. There was no blowouts. There was no spitting up. There was no throwing up. There was no tantrums. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the easiest flights, because I was super, super nervous. I didn't know how I would react to that. And you know what? If you are on an airplane and you see a mother struggling with her child, a toddler, an infant, just help them out, or, pray for them, or give them good vibes, dude, because it is hard and you have no idea how that mother is thinking, what she's going through. It's not just the baby, the toddler, the infant, or whatever that's freaking out. That mother is trying to keep her shit together. So be nice, people. Please be nice. But like I said, I had some really great people, so I'm really, really happy for that. We had maybe an hour layover, and it was super easy because I had to wait for everyone to get off the plane. Finally had to walk, because I think it was at Denver, and it just took a long time to get to my next terminal, but I made it in time to where I was able to just board that plane. I think I stopped to change his diaper for me to go to the restroom, because I think that was a 4-hour flight, and I was really nervous because I was like, I hope I don't have to go to the bathroom or anything, because who's gonna take my kid? I didn't want to get into those tiny little bathrooms, because you know how small airplane bathrooms are. They are just literally like this, like popping a squat. And I just didn't want to do that with an infant in my arms. And I also didn't trust anybody to be like, here, watch my kid, So that was an easy flight. The second flight was super, super simple, because it was just I think 45-minute flight. Okay, I lie. We stopped at Georgia because it was a super fast flight. And it was like 45 minutes. It was 2 seats, so nobody was next to me again, which we really lucked out. Super easy, because he just slept on the seat the whole time, and I was able to kind of spread out a little more. So honestly, all in all, the flights were super easy, and I am super, super lucky to have such an easy time and a very good experience on those flights. So we finally get there. Trying to adjust, it was really hard at first, because we had to get to the house, and then as soon as we got here, Jason hadn't put anything together. He hadn't moved any boxes or whatever. Everything was just laying around. So that was the kind of the fun thing. But after that, it was kind of smooth sailing, trying to get things going and trying to settle down. But with the whole moving thing, like I said, you guys just need to do it. If you're thinking about it, don't think, act, okay? It is super scary, you have all these thoughts in your head of how you're gonna go through with it, but just do it, especially if you are trying to move out of California. Save as much as you can and just go, all right? Don't worry what family is going to say. I had a lot of family why are you leaving? Why are you moving away from us? We have a small family on my side, and it was just oh, our family's just not dying off, but you're taking the kid away from us. And it's just you know what? I'm sorry. I'm doing what's best for me. I'm doing what's best for my kid. Oh, well, you guys can come move to Alabama. You know the struggle you guys are living in California. So come move here then, come visit, you know? So I actually have a couple questions from people I'm super excited to answer. The first one is, what made you decide on Alabama? Like I said, my husband's a really big fisherman, loves to bass fish, loves to fish, whatever. I'm a very outdoorsy person. I wanted to be away. I wanted to be more in the trees and the mountains, the hills, the lakes, whatever, what have you. And Northern California, I feel like is still a little expensive. We just decided to get out of California completely. We did think Jason did want to move to Oregon, but he would have been working on the fishing boats, and he was kind of over that life, that lifestyle. So we just were like, let's just do something completely different. This one kind of ties into it. What were your other options if you didn't pick Alabama? Tennessee was my pick. I really loved Tennessee, but there wasn't a lot of jobs that Jason could do out there that he wanted to do, so that was kind of crossed off the list. Texas is kind of getting crowded and expensive, so we crossed that one off the list. Oklahoma, we did really like Oklahoma when we visited, but we crossed that one off the list too. We decided Alabama because I did have family that's a couple hours away, so they're not too far but not too close, and we do have everything that we wanted. So Alabama was, you know, the ding ding dinger. I don't know why I said ding ding dinger. What the heck does that even mean? Anyways, next question. How did you prepare for it? Mentally, I just had a baby. I just got married. I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do this thing. Let's get out. Let's go. Because if we don't do it now, we're never gonna do it. So that's kind of mentally how I prepared. We had saved up. We saved enough money to get a moving van to get Jason across the country. We had to save to get a plane ride for Jameson and I. Luckily, Jameson was free, which was nice. And then, you know, we had gotten our place. And the rest of it, it all kind of came together. So money-wise, we prepared for that, you know, saved up a bit. But other than that, we were just kind of like, bye family, you know, you can see us later, come visit us, we'll be back. Like I did end up visiting like 6 months after that anyways, you know, and I had a lot of family come out the same month, I think, or like the end of the month. So, you know, I'm lucky to have family who were able to travel to see us, and we were able to travel to see them. So thank God for technology, thank God for airplanes, thank God for traveling. Next question, did you pack all your furniture or bought everything new in Alabama? We packed a lot. We didn't get the biggest moving van. We got like the second largest. We didn't have a lot to begin with. His mother, we were lucky enough to have some furniture from her, pots and pans and all that like random stuff that we had already gotten from our apartment. Like I said, we had a tiny little apartment. So we didn't have a lot of stuff, a lot of nice like dining room table sets and things like that, our bed sets and furniture, that stuff we did buy in Alabama. So how was the flight? Like I said, my flight, I was very, very lucky to have a really good flight. So I'm sorry for all those mothers who weren't as lucky, but like I said, if you see mothers struggling, be nice to them, help them out, you know, offer assistance if you can. It is a struggle, not just for the babies, it is a struggle for us, trust me. Next question, what are things you don't like about Alabama? That's a hard question. Maybe the fact when I first moved here, there was no Starbucks, and the nearest Target is like an hour away from me. And I know that sounds so stupid, but that's the only things I can really think about. Other than that, I'm really sad that my family isn't here, my immediate family. I'm really sad that my friends aren't here. It's in my past video, you guys saw how much of a struggle it has been for me to make friends. So that's honestly the only things I just don't like about Alabama. And the last one, what are things you miss about California? Mexican food. Oh my gosh, guys, you have no idea how much I miss good Mexican food. I have yet to find like a really good Mexican place, like super authentic. I miss my Southern California Mexican food. I miss my family. I miss my friends. I miss some of my favorite places to eat. There are very limited and few restaurants here in Guntersville, so I do miss some good, back home California food. But other than that, that's really all I miss about California. I don't miss the traffic. I don't miss the pollution. That's about it, So will I ever move back to California? No. Will I go visit? Of course. I'm gonna go to visit my family. I'm going to send Jameson to go visit his grandparents so that he can see how much greatness he has in Alabama. So I'm hoping he's not gonna wanna move back in the future. If he does, whatever, that's his thing. But no, I am never going to move back of California. Would I move back out of Alabama? Who knows, maybe, but I'm not going to move into a city, maybe up to Montana. I don't know, Montana's really nice, or maybe Tennessee, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what the future brings us. But right now, Guntersville is my home. I absolutely love it. Traveling with a newborn, it was easy in the beginning. It's actually getting harder now that Jameson is a toddler, just because he's more, awake and antsy, and, you gotta it's definitely this last time I was out to California was the hardest flight, but we can talk about that another time. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video of my little moving across the country with a newborn story time, I guess you can call it. I hope you guys please like and share and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys have a great day. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.